Can you hear me now? Jesus Christ. Can everybody hear me now? I swear, man, OBS is such a piece of crap software. All of my equipment can work fine. Yet last week, I come this week, nothing changed. Computer hasn't even been on since I streamed last, and it loses the hardware setting. So I have to go into audio input capture, and instead of saying, hyper whatever quadcast microphone, it just gives a random string of ones and zeros and symbols and crap. Like it just overnight, for no reason, it loses what piece of hardware it's supposed to be using for my microphone, and I have to tell it again. Fix your crap, OBS. It sucks. Streamlabs, your software is garbage. Get so sick of this crap. Anyway, I'm on here early because I'm bored. I didn't have anything else to do. And so here I am. So, we're starting the show a little bit early. So I'm sure, we're not going to get up to snuff with the usual number of suspects and for another 25 minutes or so, but it is what it is. I'm just bored and got nothing better to do. So, what did I think of the debate? I think it just proved that George Carlin was right. That's what I think of it. And it's just more evidence for me that I've made the right decision all my life by not voting. What was the last game that you and or 8th platted perfected? The last thing that 8th 100%ed was the new Elden Ring DLC. I couldn't even tell you the last thing I platted. Couldn't even tell you. I've been kind of busy with other stuff. Streamlabs is so broken I had to switch to NVIDIA Shadowplay. It used to work, but then a Streamlabs update and all of a sudden change your drivers, and I'm like, nope, switch to NVIDIA. I've never used Shadowplay. I'm not familiar with it. The Elden Ring DLC had no achievements? Really? No trophies, no nothing. Wow, 8th. Wow. I got to give them negative marks on that one, boss. I didn't even think that that Sony would allow you to release DLC without there being trophies attached to it. I guess I was wrong on that one. Oh, brother. I wonder if it'll let me switch to that live. No, it doesn't. Okay. It doesn't work right, and it sets that off for some stupid reason. Weird. Well, okay then. Yeah, it was a bit of a bummer. Then again, their DLC usually doesn't have any achievements. The only one that did was the Bloodborne DLC. And now my camera's disappeared. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I was just messing around with OBS. My fault. My fault. But yeah, we'll be officially live in another 20 minutes or so. I just wanted to fool around. Hi, Blaze. How do you feel about Alan Wake 2 getting a physical copy? Well, to give you a hint, Nick, I haven't played it up until so far because there wasn't a physical copy. I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3 because there wasn't a physical copy. Now I've got one in the mail. On its way. What is this ray of ripe sunshine coming in through your window? The window got the drape got a little misadjusted because we thought a bee had gotten in here and we were looking for it. So I had to mess with the drape a little bit and I forgot to put it back the way it was. How do you on Streamlabs have a transparent chat that I can see in-game when I'm streaming? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I used to have it. It was a plug-in. It was one of the little widgets that you downloaded off of the Streamlabs site. But I haven't used that in years, so I don't know how that works anymore. Did you see? No, I don't care about the Quiet Place movie. I told El Presidor about your documentary and he didn't care. Gee, I'm so surprised by that. All El Presidor cares about right now is fishing and cats. He's been that way for years. Fishing and cats and occasionally football. Just saw your Trey Brotherhood series. Did that real GTA 4 dude really get banned for whipping his thing out on camera? Yes. I remember him disappearing but never knew why. Yes. I don't know if he was like really, really high or if he had way too much alcohol that evening, but yeah, he kept threatening, he had this whole thing about, suck my D is long. That was his catchphrase. And a bunch of people kept calling him out on it, and so eventually he just decided he was going to prove it, and he whipped it out, and that ended him. He was done. How do you feel about the Invincible series? It's okay. I'm not, a huge super fan of it, but it's entertaining enough. Did I see the original Quiet Place? Yeah, it was all right. That being said, I didn't feel that it warranted sequels. I didn't feel that it was good enough to be turned into a franchise. To be honest with you, I would prefer for most horror films to be standalones, unless it's something like The Conjuring, where it's the same two investigators every time, and they're investigating hauntings and that kind of thing. Then it makes sense to have sequels. Do you like Omni-Man? No. Like I said, the show is okay. But it's not anything that I'm like really wrapped up in or whatever. I'll watch it if I'm bored and there's nothing else to watch. El Presidor streams Warzone. Yeah, probably because he still is trying to make money off of it, although he ain't making near as much as what he used to make. There was a point where he was making so much off of streaming Call of Duty that he didn't have to work. That don't happen anymore, but every now and again he'll still try to do it. Favorite 007 game besides GoldenEye? I don't have a favorite 007 game because I'm not that big into 007. I like some of the movies, but, not all of them. Conjuring sometimes has the same spirit show up, like the nun, the evil nun or whatever, but it's more about the husband and wife duo than anything else. Big Daddy Pimp, what up? Well, hello to you too, Stevie. Will you play the next Dragon Age and Mass Effect when they come out? I'll try them. Is that an S&W knife or is it a Kershaw? I'm not sure what the brand is on it. It's just something I bought at... Somehow I accidentally hit my mute button. I don't know. This is one of those HyperX microphones, this thing. And watch how easy it is to mute it. You just... It's not an actual button. You just graze it and it mutes it. So, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Anyway, send me some likes. Get up there in the menu, right down there. Come on, there's a like button right there. Hit it. Hit my like button. Hit my like button. Yes, I watched the debate, but you know how I am. I don't really care to talk politics stuff. Like I already commented, it was a crap show. And it just further solidifies my opinion that George Carlin was right. As far as Ghost of Tsushima, me and 8th have often said the same thing about Ghost of Tsushima, that it's the greatest Ubisoft game that Ubisoft never made. Hi, Ben. We'll be officially starting in about 14 minutes. So if you just want to get some quick preliminary questions in, go ahead and get that done now. One of my favorite skits of yours was the Mega Man burger. Oh, the Capcom burger. Yeah. Where I was basically doing Barth from You Can't Do That on Television. I even had Barth written on my little name tag over here. That was not easy to do. That was not easy to do. Because to make that work, I had to film it 2 different angles and film myself playing both characters. And then at one, I had to film myself grabbing a mouthful of fries and spitting them. And then I had to turn, cut, go to the other footage. And I had 8 standing off camera throwing fries in my face. So... That was an interesting one. That was for my Street Fighter V review. That was a long time ago. Thoughts on Alan Wake? I'm not a fan of Alan Wake. What is your thought on Francis Rage videos? I know Boogie. I run into him at the conventions when I go to the conventions. I used to think the Francis Rages were funny. But, a lot of people did back then. Didn't I Photoshop that McDonald's to have the Capcom logo? I think I remember doing that. I don't even think it was a McDonald's. It was some kind of a barn or something. It was some kind of other thing, and you slapped the Capcom logo on the side of it. Thoughts on Outlast trials? I'm not the person to ask about Outlast. That's 8th's thing. And even he's not that big of a fan of it. But he's more into the horror games than I am. Alan Wake I haven't really gotten into that much because of how long it's been as a Xbox 360 exclusive. So I was kind of late to the party on it. How's the new chair? It's comfy. It's comfy. I can lay back and relax, answer questions. Or I can get up and close and personal. So it suits all my needs. My ass don't get sore sitting in it for 3 hours. So my ankles don't swell up. So I'm good. What is the funniest joke you ever heard? King Kong went to Hong Kong to play ping pong with his ding dong. Spectacular Webhead donated $1. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, Spectacular Webhead. Thank you for the buck. That puts us at $159 closer to getting the last 2 set of shelves I need. Need $160 more. And we'll have those shelves. Thoughts on Boogie's crypto scam? I don't really think it's so much a scam as he was basically trying to do a parody of what's his name? The bald prick. I can't remember his name now, but he was trying to do a parody of that guy and decided, hey, if I can convince a bunch of crypto idiots to actually invest in this and make a little money off of it, so be it. But I think he was mainly doing it as a skit. From a skit perspective, I think it worked. I don't think I would have actually created a coin to go along with that skit, though, or a token or whatever. I didn't play Trials because it was multiplayer, saw kind of thing, and I just didn't care to try it. None of my friends gave it. Okay. Favorite cheat meal? Steak. Big fat prime rib steak. Thoughts on Dream 308's Habanero Challenge? I didn't take that challenge. And Dream is no longer with us to talk about it. No, he is not. How do you feel about Streets of Rage being 3D? Streets of Rage isn't 3D. Streets of Rage is still 2D. It almost became 3D at one point, but they never actually released it. Tasty. WTF. What? What'd I do now? What? Wouldn't it be cool if Dream 308 was still around? Yeah, him and his garbage bag background. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I know he was afraid of staying online because of, guilt by association with some of the people he spent so long talking to online. But other than that, what are you WTFing about, Hi-Fi? Remember that announcement of the Game Awards they making Streets of Rage in 3D? I didn't see it. I know you're right here. What are you WTFing about? Where does the school board find them? And why do they keep sending them to me? The garbage bag drapes live on. Yes. I have actual nice drapes, but still. Oh, Dream 308. Man, it's so interesting how many people have stuck around over the last 15 years, but how, at the same time, how many of us are gone. That just dropped off. And some of them are still around, but they just don't do YouTube. Like I had a very brief little conversation with Alpha Omega Sin today on PSN. I was just asking him how he was doing because I hadn't seen him online in a while. And he was like, just playing some games, enjoying life with the wife and the kid. I'm like, family life, man. That's where it's at. That's where it's at. And you see, there's no grand secret about why, Alpha stopped going to the cons and stopped doing videos and all that. He went back, got his career going, wife and kid. Not a big mystery. There's no conspiracy about it. But every now and again, some of y'all ask me, whatever happened to Alpha Omega Sin? Why'd he quit his YouTube channel? Yeah. El Presidor's, yeah. Yeah. Few fries short of a Happy Meal, that man. You're the loyal ones. 5 more minutes and the show officially starts. So be thinking about all the questions you want to ask. Yes, I did, Raymond. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Eight-bit Joker. George, a.k.a. 8-bit Joker. Or hey. He's upset. Oh, he's still around and he's obsessed with... Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yes, I know who Silent Rob is. I don't think that much of him one way or the other. He wasn't part of our circle back in the day. What is your favorite theory out there about anything? I don't get into conspiracy theories and all that stuff. That's not something that interests me. Thoughts on the Suicide Squad game and how they disrespected the Justice League? That game just disrespected everything, including games. Game was a piece of crap. It's shocking to me that came from the same studio that made Arkham Asylum. Just unbelievable. I refuse to play it, for one thing, because I don't play live service crap. But, I watched videos showing some of the scenes that they did, and I'm just, no. It's garbage. What are you talking about, Raymond? Ever pet a Bernese mountain dog? No, I can't say that I have, Video Game Lover. Yeah, I saw one of his live streams, Eric, talking about how one of his cats was sick. Thoughts on the new Superman suit? I don't like the new suit. I don't like it. It might be one of those things where it looks better on film, but just from the leaked photos, I don't like it. It looks very cartoony. Oh, sorry, Raymond. He had it coming, Raymond. What can I say? Did anyone ever find out what happened to the back of El Presidor's head? It's all scarred. He got into a fight, if I remember right, and he got like a cut with a knife back there. He told the story years and years ago. I just don't remember the details of it. Or was it that, or was he? I think it. I don't know, man. He told the story about it a long time ago. I just don't remember the details. Have I played Red Dead Revolver? Yes, I've played all the Red Dead games. I wasn't a particularly big fan of any of them, but Red Dead Redemption is probably the best of the three. Do you miss the Trey Brotherhood days? Well, they were more fun than it is now. I'll say that. They're more fun than it is now. Anyway, it's Saturday at 6 o'clock, June 29th, 2024, and this is the 7th Cast. As always, I am your venerable host, your friendly neighborhood 7th. 8th is upstairs in Casa de 7th 3.0, enjoying himself up there. And tonight is another open discussion night because there's just not really anything gaming-wise going on in the news right now. Aside from Dreamcast guy trying to clickbait over the whole Sony is halting Blu-ray production, he didn't bother to read far enough into the story to see that it's all about, CDRs and DVDRs and recordable Blu-ray discs. It's not about production discs. I mean, I told you guys 15 years ago that all digital was the goal. So it's not like that's something new. But, yeah, he completely misconstrued that story. It is what it is. And that's pretty much all that's happened in the gaming news this week that's worth talking about. Star Wars is an embarrassment. It's awful. It's a joke. Get Humpmaster and Water Buffalo on a podcast? No. They can get on one with each other, but I don't want to be in the middle of that. I'll get myself canceled all over the planet within the first 5 minutes. Any particular subject the open discussion is about, as long as it's not politics and religion and not something that's going to get me demonetized. Hi, Shadow Deist. Sly Cooper 1 is back on PS5. $10. New harder trophies. Definitely worth it. I already have the plat on it from when they re-released the collector's edition, so I'm not all that concerned. How did you feel about Xbox in its recent showcase? It had a couple of games that I'm interested in. That's about it. Yes, I watched the debate, but again, I don't talk about politics. It was a crap shoot, It wasn't worth a crap on either side. One of them couldn't talk and the other one couldn't tell the truth. I mean, he told a few true things, but most of what he said was BS. In an RPG, your group of 4 is facing off against another group of 4. Do you jump each one by one, or do you each separately fight a single person 1-to-1? Oh, I gang all mine up on one individual, so then it's 4-to-3. And I just keep ganging up until there's nothing left. Thoughts on Review Tech USA's meltdown? It's like I said last week, man. To me, a lot of that felt like a work. Like the three of them were just like, slinging poo at each other to get people to watch. I'm not saying that's definitely what happened, but that's what it felt like to me. It seems like every time their viewership starts to dry up, one of them will get mad at the other one again, and the whole thing starts up again, and then they get more views, and then one just before the authorities gets involved, one of them will say, "Oh well, we've squashed the beef behind the scenes. We're all good now." Blah blah blah, and it'll be that way for a few weeks, and then the views will dry up again, and then all of a sudden they're back at each other again. And to me, it just feels like a work. Name some of your favorite platformers from any era. Well, Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World, Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Jak and Daxter, Jak 2, all the Ratchet and Clank games. I mean, I go on and on and on. Thoughts on Dr. Disrespect? I don't know. I never watched him to begin with, so why would I care? They showed a picture of this minor that he was sexting with. She looked like she was at least 17, which is still, illegal. Well, in some states that's illegal, but I don't care. It wasn't like some 4-year-old baby that he was. It wasn't some kindergartner that he was, making sex talk at. I mean, come on. I'm from the 80s. Half the girls in high school were sexually active by the time they were 13. I wasn't doing them at 13, but that's the reality of it. I wouldn't have dated one that was 13. I wouldn't have married one that was 13, but that's the reality of it. I grew up in the South. 13-year-old girls were already out there getting theirs. Consensually. They knew exactly what it was and how it worked. That's just the way it was. I don't know how it is now because I'm not a kid anymore, but that's the way it was. It's like the minute they learned about the birds and the bees, they were out getting their birds and bees. I'm just saying. I can't say anything. My first time was with an older woman. Thoughts on Star Wars Bounty Hunter being re-released, coming to PS5 and other platforms? I don't even have the original version of it, so I didn't get that big into that game. Do you remember the standalone Daxter game that was on the PSP? Yeah, Daxter something Frontier or whatever. There was that one. They just re-released the Daxter game on PSN. I played a few levels of it the other day. I was thinking of the other one, the Jak Frontiers or whatever. That was also on PSP. It got re-released too. There's a difference between 13 and 13 and 13 and 35. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I don't think that's what it was with him. Not based on the picture that has been going around. Am I saying it's impossible for a 15-year-old to do herself up to where she looks like that? No, I'm not saying that's impossible. But she looked more like she was at least in the 17 range. But either way, I was not a fan of his. It's not like he actually hooked up with her. Not sure if he actually would have one way or the other, or if it's like he's saying it was just like joking around, being trollish like he'd tend to be. I don't know. I can honestly say, oh, my ear itches. Sorry, guys. Oh, I can honestly say that I've never seen a Dr. Disrespect video. I've never seen a Dr. Disrespect stream. I've never been into his content. I could not care less about him. He is not my thing. Just not my thing at all. How old was I? I was 17. I was 17, and it was with an older woman. And it was consensual. And I'm not talking like, 40 or something. It wasn't with a school teacher or anything like that. It was someone I knew. And no, I know it's the South, but it wasn't a cousin or anything like that either. It was someone that I'd known from childhood who was a little bit older than me. She was 3 or 4 years older than me. Where is she now? She's off several states away, married with kids that are adults now. I haven't talked to her in years. Have you ever watched LolCal Live? Yes, I've watched LolCal Live. I've watched snippets of it. I don't think it's entertaining enough to watch the whole thing. So, I'll watch bits and pieces of it, but that's about it. Have I ever watched To Catch a Predator? I've saw a few episodes of it back in the day. I came on early for you guys. You'd think you'd want to ask more questions than this. Why didn't you like the show on ABC, Lost? It just didn't do anything for me. I thought it was boring. Is only Use Me Blade still alive? As far as I know. And she's somewhere around 54. What do you think Nintendo will do with new hardware, new Switch, or new gimmick? I think this time they're going to play it close to the hilt and just put out something that's like a more powerful Switch. I could be wrong, though. That just feels like what they'll do this time around. People like the handheld convenience of it, but they're not going to want to go split their user base up again into console and handheld, so I think they'll stick to what they're doing. Favorite TV show of all time? Red Dwarf. Did I like Vikings? Yes. Thoughts on Mutahar? I've watched a few of his videos. I think 8th's a bigger fan of him than I am, but I've watched a few of his vids. Is Jak and Daxter the best Sony platformer? I like Ratchet and Clank better myself, but that's just me. 2009 internet YouTube was 100 times more entertaining than today. You're not wrong. How do you feel about that new Zelda game? It is what it is. I'm kind of surprised. It has happened before, but it happened on the Philips CDI. So, What's your take on attention to detail in video games? Do your clothes need to rip and show dirt after battle? Do you really need to be wet after leaving a puddle? I say this because of Hard 8. I think it depends on the game and what the aesthetic that they're going for. I don't think it's necessary, really. I don't think it affects gameplay in any real sense. Unless it was like, for example, like a stealth thing, and you get out of the water and you're leaving like a trail of water behind you, so the enemies are able to spot where you went running to after you got out of the water. Other than that, I don't really think it affects gameplay on any real level. So what's the point of having it in there other than to be able to brag about, ooh, look at our water on fabric physics? Paper Mario is okay, but I preferred Super Mario RPG and how it worked. Where does Astrobot rank in the mix of Sony platformers? Well, a full one hasn't come out yet. You had the VR one, then you had the smaller one that came built into the PS5. Now we're going to get a full one. We'll see how it ranks up when I play the full one. If it's anything like the one like Astro's Playroom that came with PS5, we're in for a treat. Probably not, Shadow. They probably wouldn't know what I was talking about. What are your top 3 video game franchises of all time? Oh, Lord, man. I don't know. There's too many of them. I mean, look behind you. Look behind me. I've got like 2,415 games. Come on. And on top of that, I don't like every game of every franchise ever. Like, I don't like every Zelda game. I don't like every Mega Man game. Yeah, I don't like every Uncharted game. You get what I'm saying? Alien, I'm not going to do that. Darth Sidious versus Sauron. Sauron would win. Everyone I know knows about Zelda CDI because Morshu became a shit. Yeah, lamp oil roast bomb. Seventh, was Hard 8 jealous of Alpha Omega Sin's game collection? He said that didn't impress him. I don't remember Hard 8 ever even showing off a game collection. He seemed to be more proud of the size of his TV and stuff, or what he had upgraded in his PC. He didn't really seem to care all about game collecting, so I can't imagine him being jealous of it. Which one of the console war YouTubers had the trashiest recording room? Oh, that's easy. That was Michalink, one of the Wii guys. He filmed all of his videos in what looked like a Motel 8 bathroom. Literally in a bathroom. And it looked like a Motel 6 or a Super 8. Some crappy hotel bathroom. I don't know where the hell he was filming his stuff, but that's what it looked like. Remember, that was the line I said about Michalink, that he was so full of BS he filmed all of his videos from his bathroom because he couldn't stand to be more than 2 feet away from a toilet. Thoughts on the Uncharted movie? It was okay. I just really couldn't accept Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. He's too short and too young. What about Magneto's hoarder place? I never really got that good a look at his place. I mean, he filmed from his basement. He filmed from like his kitchen. He filmed from several other places around wherever it was he was living. Tokes had the worst background with that door. Oh, the green. Yeah, the green door. El Presidor was so fascinated with the door. Into the Nexus was okay, Nicholas. It was just short. It was short, and they lowered it to 30 frames per second. What was the funniest moment you experienced during the Trey Brotherhood days? Oh, Lord. There was a lot of them. I'll tell you one that I wanted to include in Trey for Life, but I couldn't find it. And that was a clip that General G did of himself dancing to this Suck My D song. So he's standing up there kind of doing a Vogue type of thing, or a walk like an Egyptian type of dance, and you hear this dun 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 dun, suck my D, suck my mother effing D, and he's doing all these dance moves, and I just died, and I saved it, and I used to inject just random clips of it into my videos, and to the point where eventually he actually asked me to stop doing it because he was embarrassed of it. Ooh, I'm glowing. I've got the glow. Let me see if I can get that light just right. I was like, I leaned over, and somehow I just had it just perfect, where my whole face just lit up. I can't do it now. Whatever. Yeah, I don't give a crap about A Quiet Place. I'm sorry. So, don't bother asking, because I don't care. Do you know one or two characters from Marvel that could beat Superman? Not off the top of my head, no. Maybe the Sentinel, possibly the Sentinel. Do you remember when General G debated Zephyrnix? A lot of people debated Zephyrnix. Thing about Zephyrnix thought he was big in the community, but he really wasn't. It's just that, he was an easy target to generate views for yourself because he had gotten just enough of a name and, in his own mind, thought that he was like this master troll manipulator, blah, blah, blah. And so it was fun to do videos against him to see him try to counter you. But he really wasn't that big in the community, not in either views or subs. And plus, he was constantly owning himself, like the fake flagging and the fake getting arrested, and his oh, wait a minute, I've got the glow. Look, everybody, I've got the glow. He's got that glow. Anyway, then his sex tape with that orange-footed goblin that he was doing got uploaded. Do you like the Assassin's Creed games? I liked a couple of them, not all of them. I like the first one and the second one, and that's pretty much it. I have never really been a fan of the Underworld movies, to be honest with you. I think they're kind of dull. And, the repeat characters it has, you don't really care about them. Do you think Rocksteady could be going down? Absolutely. I think they're already there. Superman versus Goku has been going on the internet for years and years, and it's a stupid argument because both of them just keep getting more powerful over time. And with Superman, it's not even really that he's more powerful, it's that he has internal locks that he has put into his own head to prevent him from accidentally destroying the universe. That's how powerful he is. And so he has to limit himself to keep himself from causing too much damage. So, you might as well say, who would win in a fight, Goku or Popeye? Who would win in a fight, Goku or Saitama? These are characters that, the limitations are arbitrary. You could argue this kind of crap forever. That being said, Superman would win. Next, are you tired of the Hawk Twa girl yet? Yeah, that one's already worn out its welcome. Spit on that thing. But you know what? A lot of those Tennessee girls I was talking about earlier, they acted exactly like her. What is your thought on character AI adding voice calling that lets you talk to your favorite characters with your voice? That wouldn't do anything for me at all because I don't live in the land of make-believe. It's like that's something that would appeal to a 5-year-old. It's like Unstoppable Force versus that's like calling up the Santa hotline so your little kid can talk to Santa Claus and tell him what he wants for Christmas. I mean, it's kid shit. Thoughts on Logan Paul being a wrestler for WWE? Well, I mean, he's proven he can do it. He seems pretty good in the ring. Exactly, 8th. Was day and date the worst thing to ever happen to Xbox? No, Xbox was the first thing to ever happen to Xbox. Do you think Marvel Studios is dead? It might as well be. Any horror movie crossover that would be fun to watch that hasn't happened yet? Freddy versus Jason versus Pinhead versus Ash. Why did the film Ready Player One somewhat fail? It had so much nostalgia. Because the nostalgia was aimed towards people that don't play those kind of perpetually online games. All the references were kids from the 80s, but kids from the 80s are my age. I don't give a crap about Fortnite. I don't give a crap about World of Warcraft. I don't give a crap about Elder Scrolls Online. I don't play anything that's a live service game or, Second Life or any of that kind of crap. And so I think, it was nostalgia wrapped up in a story that didn't really appeal to people of my age. And the people that it did appeal to, the younger generations, didn't give a crap about where the DeLorean came from, didn't give a crap about all these different plot references and pop culture references. So, it didn't appeal to either of the audiences that it was aimed at, and that's why it didn't do all that well. Do you think the Gears of War prequel game would be good? Look who you're asking, Raymond. I've never liked any Gears of War game that I've ever played. You're asking the wrong guy on that one. I don't listen to Imagine Dragons. I think they suck. Does Revenge of the Sith still hold up? Some of it does. Some of it doesn't. The whole movie? No. Certain aspects of it? Yes. DC is getting its ass kicked by Marvel as far as the gaming industry goes. I don't know about that. When was the last really good Marvel game? What was it? Are y'all just not into this tonight? Or having, I'll get 5 questions at once and then you all stop talking at once. I mean, I can turn this off and go play games if y'all would rather do something else. Y'all just let me know. Who would win between Leatherface or the Creeper would. When I lived in Tennessee, my favorite season was the summer. Here in Texas, I think it's the fall. Marvel or DC, which is better? I don't really have a preference between them. I just have characters I like and characters I don't. Hello, Alex. What you doing? You want to come up here and say hello to everybody? Come on. Come on. Come over here. Come on. Come on. There you go. Okay. Okay. All right. See up there? Look up there. Yep. See? Look. Look up here. See there? Okay. All right. You gonna be a good girl? Okay. I don't know about the Indiana Jones game because they did do it first person, and I don't know if Indiana Jones is going to translate that well to an FPS. We'll see. Did you watch the Sopranos movie prequel? No, I did not. But then again, I wasn't a fan of the show. The Free Guy film was successful. Explain that one. I don't know how successful it was because my memory of it was that it showed up on video demand like super fast. Star Wars is long gone, Alaskan dude. I did see the newest Indiana Jones movie. I've only been able to sit through it once. My attempts to try to rewatch it, I've made it like 15 minutes in and then I get bored and I turn it off. Do you sometimes make a girl character in costume creation? No, but I'm not opposed to playing a game that where a girl is the main protagonist. I've played, Tomb Raider and Control and other things like that. Why wasn't I a fan of Sopranos? I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. I'd start to be interested in it, and then dude would go to see a shrink, and I'd get bored out of my mind, and I'd turn it off. I don't eat oysters. I don't eat seafood of any kind. What you doing? Okay. Are you a good girl? Huh? Are you a good girl? Is Alex a good girl? Do you love your grandpa? Huh? You love grandpa? Yeah? You want me to rub your belly? Here, come here. We'll rub your belly. Come here. Oh. We'll rub your belly, okay? All right. Okay. Thank you. What? What? Oh, you love grandpa? Okay. 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 You be good. Let's see here. DC completely dropped the ball with Gotham Knights hyping up. Oh, you went down now? Oh, careful. Oh. You got your paw in my shirt. All right, I'll help you get down. There you go. Don't you start. Go play or something. DC completely dropped the ball with Gotham Knights hyping up the Court of Owls as the main antagonist, only realizing it was League of Assassins they killed Batman. Not one. Yeah. Stupid. Yeah, if they really wanted to do something that might be interesting, how about, do a series about Darth Vader, in his younger years before the rebellion really kicked off. Do something about that, where, he's working for the Emperor or whatnot. Man, I'm super thirsty. And that's not good, because we're not even an hour into this thing yet. I don't know what's wrong with me. Control was real. I finally got around to beating Control not too long ago myself. Do you know the situation about Insomniac's Overstrike and why they changed? Yeah, I saw all that. It's a shame, too. I really hated that game, too. I did not like Fuse at all. Do you think a crossover between Drake, Laura, and Indiana Jones could translate into a game if done right? Well, I suppose. But not really, because it would involve time travel, which would make it stupid. Should Sony offer a refund for the $600 PSVR 2 being abandoned out the gate? Well, I mean, they didn't make first party games for it that long for the original one either. You buy that thing going into it knowing that you're going to be mostly playing third party games on it. How would you combat cheaters in video games? I don't have to worry about it because I don't play online. Is the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut better than the original? Well, I mean, it comes with the DLC, and the DLC is decent, so yeah. Why don't I play games online? Because I don't like to. No, I'm not watching House of the Dragon. I watched half of the first episode, got bored, and turned it off. Just doesn't do anything for me. Are you willing to try the new Assassin's Creed since they're finally in Japan? I don't know. I haven't even played through the last one yet. No, we're not playing that game, Alex. You're not gonna come in here and get up in my lap and then want down 30 seconds later and then leave and then come back and want in here again. I'm not doing that. You want to bring me the ball? I'll throw you the ball. That's about it. I see you hiding behind my chair back there. I see you, Alex. Yes, I see you. You little pooch stain. What games have you been playing lately? System Shock 2 remake and Erudian Chronicles 100 whatever, and Sandland. Hi, Farb. I kind of want a sack full of crystals for you and Alex, man. Well, you know what? Then you could donate me probably $20, because that's probably what a sack full would cost now. So, right up there, Streamlabs link. Go ahead. And I'll go to Crystal and see if I can order them and have them shipped to my house here in Texas. I don't know about the new Deadpool. We'll see. I'm not going to lie. I kind of want to see the new Twister, too. Never really got into Warhammer. I did like their Diablo clone, though. The Diablo clone. They put a Chaos whatever. Small dogs live longer and they're easier to clean up after. She'll probably make it to 20 before she passes away. You won't get that out of a big dog. Rest in peace, Bill Paxton. Yeah. Died before his time, man. Grand Blue Fantasy wins best boss battles this year in my book. Can't wait till you play that. It's upstairs with 8th. Customer just cursed me out. I'm a little pissed off. Why did they curse you out? Because you were talking to me? Have you been to Super Nintendo? No. I haven't been to Universal Studios since the 90s. Yeah, there's a lot of things that Farb that the Vita can do that the Switch can't do, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. I know you're just trying to get me to say something that'll sound lewd when I repeat it, Alien. I'm not stupid. I remember your tactics from years ago. Are there any great theme parks you know of besides Disney and Universal? Dollywood. Dollywood is awesome. Do you think Tom Holland's Spider-Man will be more grounded and dark? Kingpin, Scorpion, Black Cat. Don't know. I asked him for his ID for cigarettes. Well, I mean, you're supposed to do that. Yes, Universal is making more money than Disney is right now with their parks. Probably with their movies, too. Hell, I don't know. What's your favorite generation in video games? 16-bit generation. Well, probably a tie between 8 and 16-bit. It'd be a three-way tie between NES generation, Genesis generation, PS2 generation. Those are my 3 faves. Yeah, Disney's bottoming out in just about everything. They couldn't pay me to go back to their parks at this point. They couldn't pay me to go back to their parks. Of course, I owned a Sega Genesis. I had a Sega Genesis, a Super Nintendo, and an NES at the same time. Still have all of those sitting back there on those shelves. Why hasn't PlayStation been revealing that many games? Because they invested too much of their time and efforts into live service games, and now it's biting them in the ass. So now they're behind on everything else. Do you think there's a difference between theme parks and amusement parks? Absolutely. Amusement parks don't have a theme. They're just a bunch of rides. They might try to have a theme, like, different themed lands or whatever. But usually they fail at it. And that's what the difference is between a theme park and amusement park. Like, I don't consider Six Flags a theme park. It's an amusement park. Yes, I played Earthworm Jim on Genesis. Played it on Super Nintendo too. I got a bunch of PS1 games I need to get rid of. Well, maybe you and I should have a talk, Hi-Fi for Life. If you have any that I need. Somebody already asked me about Boogie. He's not scamming his fans because none of his fans would bother to invest an hour plus worth of time that it would take to set up everything they'd need to buy his stupid token. It's just a troll. It's just a skit, and he's looking to make money off of the people that actually invest in that stupidity. The most of his fan base are not amongst them. What's your favorite Genesis game? Streets of Rage 2, Sonic 1 and 2, Gunstar Heroes, Thunder Force 3, Lightning Force, Arrow Flash. I've got a bunch of favorites on the Genesis. I have like 200 games for it. There's a debate on what generation the Switch is in. Could you settle it? I don't think it's in the same generation as PS5 and Series X. Previous generation, because it's not even as powerful as a PS4. How strong is Lara Croft? Like, as in, how many pounds can she lift? I don't know. No, I'm not going to go to Florida to see Mario Land. I don't care enough about it for that. That takes money. Do you think Warner Brothers should split from Discovery, given how badly they've been doing in the box office and their stock value? Well, it doesn't do anything for me as far as HBO Max goes, because you log on to Max and instead of seeing movies that you actually want to see, it's a bunch of home improvement reality show crap. No, I didn't like Oddworld. How do I get in contact with you? Message me on Twitter. Message me on Twitter. At the 7th level. Eighth has a point because we don't really consider the Switch a console. It's just their latest handheld. Somebody already asked me about the whole review tech thing, man. I don't really care. I don't really care. I think the whole thing's a work. Do you have a Discord server? Not that's active. I don't think Japan Studios should have been shut down. That's what I think. What did I think of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie? It was so-so. I don't really see that Link to the Past needs a remake. It's fine the way it is. Do you watch anime? Yes. Yes, I watch anime. Have you played the Star Ocean 2 remake? I bought it. I haven't played it. The box to it is up in 8th room. I don't know that we know where the disc to it is. Did you watch the Who Killed WCW documentary on Vice? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Do you like Dragon Ball? No, I'm not into Dragon Ball. I'm not into Bleach either. I'm not into Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not into Pokemon. I'm not into Naruto. I've seen Kaiju number 8. It was fun. So far. Yes, I've seen Vinland Saga, both seasons. It's a good show. It's a good show. I like it. A Link Between Worlds was originally going to be a remake, but they decided to make it an indirect sequel. Well, fine. No, I didn't do the red and blue on Game Boy, mang. 7th, would you do a Naruto run? No. I wouldn't do a normal run for a donation. No, I didn't like Squid Game. What do you think of miscellaneous as a level chapter title? It just seems like a dad pun to me. Oh. Sorry, guys, having a little bit of stomach pain, waiting for that to pass. Just go ahead and ask your questions, though. Do you like True Detective? I like the first season. I haven't liked any of the seasons after that. Factoring in his mainstream movie career, is The Rock the biggest star in wrestling history? Probably, yeah. You know, he's the only one that's had that level of success in movies. You know, Hogan had Rocky 3, but after that it was all a bunch of direct-to-video crap for the most part. Aside from, like, you know, No Holds Barred. Roddy Piper had They Live, and then everything after that was TV guest appearances and direct-to-video movies like, you know, Hell Comes to Frogtown and stuff like that. No, I wasn't a big fan of Squid Game. There were some things about it I thought were interesting, but, you know, it wasn't a must-watch for me. Batista is somewhat successful. He's successful in anything that has Guardians of the Galaxy in the title. Just about everything else he's touched is bombed. I haven't watched wrestling in a long time. Not on a regular basis. Do you think They Live should have gotten a sequel? I don't know. I think it's perfect the way it is. It should be left alone. Thoughts on the new fan-made Berserk anime? I watched a little bit of it. What little of it that's actually been done. I know Batista was in Dune, but his character of Raban was greatly reduced compared to what was in the book. So, he was almost superfluous. There was almost no point to him being in it. Most gross scene in a film? I don't know, maybe the climax scene from Dead Alive. I played High on Life, but I wasn't a fan. I'm not really. I don't think I'm all that familiar with Colin Moriarty. I don't think I'm all that familiar with his stuff. Didn't he used to write for one of the video game websites or something? Thoughts on Bike Riders? It was pretty good. It's pretty good. It felt like they were kind of trying to do the Goodfellas of biker movies. I don't know. It's not as good as Goodfellas, but it was okay. Did you like the Deadpool films? I liked the first one. The second one kind of sucked. It was just so. Steven Seagal or Van Damme? Van Damme over Steven Seagal. Although, you know, looking back on them, there's very few of their movies I can still sit through. But there's more Van Damme movies I can sit through than Steven Seagal movies. With Steven Seagal, it's pretty much just Under Siege. That's the only one I can stomach these days. With Van Damme, I can still watch Bloodsport, Universal Soldier, Time Cop. There's a handful of there's more Seagal movies I can still stomach. What was the name of that one that was like Die Hard in a hockey arena, like Sudden Death or whatever? I like that one too. Do you watch any? Wait a minute. What's your opinion on? Hey, Seventh, how's it going? It's going fine. What are your opinion on Helldivers 2? It's a live service game. I don't play those. Do you think GTA 4 would get a remaster? I don't really care if it does or not. What's your opinion on the Killzone and Resistance series and which one was better? I would say Resistance had they not killed off Nathan Hale in the second game. Do you watch any of Scott Adkins' movies? I've seen a few of them. Where do you rank John Cena, Dave Bautista, and Dwayne Johnson as wrestlers turned actors? Dwayne Johnson at the top, and John Cena and Dave Bautista tied in second. Do you like the Cobra Kai series? Eh. Oh, brother. Let's see here. Do you think GTA 4 should get a remaster? Oh, again, didn't you already ask that earlier up? Yes, you did. You've asked that 3 times now. I don't care about GTA 4. Stupid dog. Okay, let's see here. Did you watch the Universal Soldier and Undisputed movies? Universal Soldier and Undisputed movies. The first Universal Soldier was okay. I didn't watch the Undisputed stuff. The other Universal Soldiers, anything aside from the first one, was crap. Anything aside from the first one was crap. Hang on a second, guys. Dog is being needy. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on, guys. Dog stuff. Sorry about that. Let's see here. What else did I miss? Ever heard Japanese rap? No, I've never heard Japanese rap. What's your favorite fighting movies? The Rocky films. Evening at 7th. It's been a long time. How has life been treating you? Any games that you're interested in? Oh, life's been treating me okay. I'm in a new house. There's nothing really new coming out that I care about until like in the fall. And I wouldn't have the money to buy any of them anyway. I mean, after all, we have 2 hours remaining, and I've only had $1 single donated towards the new shelves that I need over there. So we're still 159 short of ordering the new shelves. How'd you like that segue? Was that good? Was that cool? Let's see here. Descendants and Blink-182 are the best punk bands of all time. Agree? Well, I'd agree on Descendants. I don't know that I'd... Hi-Fi donated $10. Thank you, Hi-Fi. Appreciate you. For the shelves, it says. Thank you. Appreciate you. Let's see here. Thoughts on the Amiibo fad? I never got into it. I think 8th has a couple of. I think 8th has a couple of them, but that's about it.
I do not.
I thought you had some Amiibos.
No, I have the Ghost, not the fucking GameStop version.
Oh, the GameStop ones that had like Sony characters and shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. 8th's up there, guys. He's listening in on the chat. Let's see here. What happened with the doggo? Doggo was having drama. Had to take care of doggo. Terminator versus RoboCop. Who would win? RoboCop. What's your favorite GTA style game? I don't have one. Arnold Schwarzenegger versus The Rock. Who would win? Now? The Rock. 1984? Schwarzenegger? Be a different story. Actually, Dwayne Sylvester Stallone. Same thing. That Alex Doggo is cute. Yes, she is. I didn't repeat the GTA 4 remaster question, and then one line down. I didn't repeat the GTA 4 remaster. You are repeating yourself, Nicholas. Everything you post is coming out twice. Be right back. Never say that in a horror movie. Very true. Master Chief versus Boba Fett. Master Chief. 7th, any word from that troll Shadow Hood? Not today. I donated a like for your shelves. That doesn't count, Alien Magi. What breed is your dog? Chihuahua-ish. Hi, Richard. I went back into playing older generations as it feels like this generation's been a bit dry. Latest I started playing was Shining Force EXA and Neo. I didn't like any of the Shining Force games after Shining Force 3. Because I didn't feel like Shining Force games after that. 7th, could you see 8th working as an electrician? I think he'd be good at that. I think 8th would be good at pretty much anything that he decided he wanted to do. Samus versus Master Chief. Ooh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't know about that one, guy. I don't know about that one. That's a little scary. I think somebody could definitely get hurt there. Or maybe they just strip off their armor and screw. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, $20 from Richard. Thank you for the $20, Richard. You said you don't care about politics, and yet I saw you on Twitter talking about the debate. I said I don't talk about politics on the 7thCast. I talk about politics regularly on Twitter when it's something that interests me enough. I don't talk about it here because it causes nothing but problems here. Most of you that watch here do not follow me on Twitter. Thank you for the $20. Yes, I like Cyberpunk 2077. Rich Richard into house. That puts us up to $31. $31. Thank you, thank you. Thoughts on Phantasy Star? I liked Phantasy Star 1 through 4. Everything after that I haven't really cared for. Is it true that Quentin Tarantino likes feet? As best as I can tell. Did you play the new RoboCop video game? And would you or wouldn't you buy it for $1 if on sale? I bought it for $50 when it was new. And yes, it's worth it. It's a good game. Unreal Tournament or Quake? I preferred Unreal Tournament. But again, I haven't played either of them since 2004. What's the point of using Twitter? It's how I keep. That's basically my primary form of communication with several of my friends. Like, for instance, the Game Chasers. I don't have their phone number. I talk to them through direct message on Twitter. Well, it's not exactly true. I have Jay's phone number. I don't have Billy's, but I do have Jay's. That being said, I still, if I need to get in touch with Jay, I usually do it as a DM. Did you like the Fallout show? I liked the first season. I liked Fallout. Fallout was good. I enjoyed it. Do you feel that AI being used to create a resume for a job could have problems, and do you recommend doing it by hand instead? I'm not that big on AI, especially since so much of my work is IT related. You get what I'm saying? I'm not dealing with him. Who are you not dealing with? What did I miss?
Silent Hood showed up or whatever, Shadow Hood.
Shadow Hood?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Something about you being too scared to talk about politics.
Oh, yeah. Good to mute him. That's fine by me. Your thoughts on the video game For Honor? Don't think I ever played it. Do you watch The Boys? Yes, I watched The Boys. Haven't liked this season quite as much as the previous ones, but it's been pretty good so far. It's been pretty good. I heard that what's his name from Supernatural is going to be on season 5, so you're going to have the Winchester brothers reunited on The Boys. That'll be interesting, sort of. I think Jensen Ackles or whatever would make a good Batman too. That's who I'd love to see play Batman in the new DCU movies. Is Jensen Ackles or Ackles or however it's pronounced. Did you ever watch Netflix's Happy? Is that the one that's got the dude from was it the guy from Special Victims Unit? Is that who played him? And he's like a detective that's lost his mind and he sees a little cartoon unicorn everywhere or some crap. If that's the show, yes, I've seen it. Do you think the word dummy is funny? Depends on how it's used. Who wins in a fight, a bear or a gorilla? There's some dumb questions on here tonight.
A bear, obviously.
Yeah, it's a bear. 7th, do you think Disney should just leave the Alien franchise alone? Yes. Sorry, 7th, I jinxed you. It's okay. Next season of The Boys is going to be... It's probably a sock account of one of you guys anyway, so who cares? Next season of The Boys is going to be the last. I'm excited to see how it ends. We'll see. Are TV shows a better medium for storytelling than movies? It depends on the story. Do you think putting a money goal for a house tour when you're ready would be a good idea? Well, that's kind of what I'm doing now. Because I don't want to do the new house tour until I have all the shelves set up and all the posters hung and all that kind of thing. And I can't set up all the shelves if I don't have the money to buy all the shelves. Hence, we're now $129 away from being able to buy the shelves. Wait a minute. Richard says, can you not see my comment? Yes, I can see it, but you haven't said anything other than a smiley face since your donation. So what is it you think I can't see? Yeah, that's the Happy Show. Did you like it? Yeah, it was pretty fun. Favorite 30s, 40s cartoons that art styles are great. The Fleischer Superman. Yes, I can see your comments. Richard was not banned. Shadow What's-His-Name was banned. Not Shadow Diaz, the other one. Shadow Hood or whatever. Because he comes in and tries to stir up political crap every time I stream. Yeah, Disney's just been pissing in their own Wheaties for a couple of years now, ever since Endgame. And actually before Endgame. Ever since The Last Jedi. Icy Rhythms. What are you doing in here? What are you doing in here? It's the guy that accidentally demonetized my original channel, folks. Icy Rhythms. I said, did you see the video I added you on Twitter? I'm not looking at my Twitter right now. Do you see my phone in my hand? I'm talking to you guys. I don't play around on Twitter when I'm doing this shit. This is live, baby. I'm devoting my 100% attention to y'all. I'm not playing on Twitter right now. I'll look at it when this is over. Chillax. Alien Magi has put forth the theory that Shadow Deist and Shadow Hood are the same person. To be honest, Alien, I've kind of had that thought myself in the past. Aside from video games, what other things do you collect? You could almost say guitars, but I only have 3 because guitars are expensive. Kind of Blu-rays, a little bit. Other than that, I mean, I have lots of action figures, but I wouldn't really say I collect them. I buy them more as decoration than anything else. No, I haven't seen the new Quiet Place. Such an original question. I'm glad you asked it. Thank you. What's your take on video game difficulty in video games? I think some games are made to be difficult, made to give you that next level of challenge, and some people will like that, and some people won't. And for those people that won't, there are games that, are catered more towards them. This idea that every game needs to cater to me is BS. If you're not good enough to beat a Dark Souls game, go play something that you're good at. It's that simple. I liked the Batman Icy Rhythms, but I didn't like it better than the Nolan ones. Maybe better than the first one, but certainly not better than 2 or 3. And I'll tell you why. Because the whole subplot about Catwoman could be completely cut out of that movie, and it wouldn't affect the movie. It was a pointless side plot just to get her into the film. No, none of the remakes have been any good. Although I do enjoy the Jungle Book in a kind of ironic way because it's so weird to see Christopher Walken portray King Louis. Other than that, no, none of the remakes have been any good. Do you think a live-action Spider-Woman would work? Sure. Do I have OLED yet? No. TV ain't broke yet, so I don't see a point in replacing it. What's your favorite FPS series? Probably Borderlands. I play Borderlands more than any other first-person shooter I have in the last several years. Does this thing have four-wheel drive? Are you freaking kidding me? You honestly think that freaking troll is me? Really? Methinks you protest too much, Shadow. Methinks you doth protest too much. Seventh, I know Disney has been doing mostly bad with movies, but how do you think they are doing in the video games department? Not really any better. I sent you the video a couple of days ago. It was a movie theater, and they were using a PS3. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Richard here sent me a video on Twitter, and it was some movie theater, I don't know where in the hell it was, but they were basically using a PS3 to stream the movies into the projector. And it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. He's talking about the little kid in Home Alone. Does this thing get gas mileage? Does it have four-wheel drive? Bring me back something nice. I bought a Mega Gyrus figure. Now I need Batra and Monster X. Hey, Icy, I tried to include you in my documentary about the console wars, but you deleted all of your Trey Brotherhood era videos. So I couldn't really, I could only like mention you by name. Is it worth it watching Christopher Reeve's Superman? Absolutely. The first two, anyway. I would ignore everything else, but definitely watch the first two. Oh, 1994 Jungle Book, the one with Jason Scott Lee. Yeah, that was pretty good. Thoughts on Costco pizza? I can honestly say that I've never stepped foot in a Costco. I've been in a Sam's Club, but never a Costco. Is 8K the future or most likely not going to? Oh, I'm sure it'll eventually happen. Are you a fan of any of the Telltale style games? No. Or Quantum Dream games? Not really. I can't believe you guys. Once again, methinks you doth protest too much, Shadow. Seventh, do you feel that Burger King is the worst fast food restaurant? Not really. I think that would go to Arby's.
Yeah.
Probably for the best, those videos were a tragedy. Best time ever on YouTube, though. Absolutely. YouTube has definitely not been even half as fun as when the whole Trey Brotherhood thing was going on. That was just a blast. Why did you have to delete the previous streams you've done? I didn't delete any of my previous streams. Almost all of my previous streams are still there. I didn't delete nothing. I've maybe deleted one or two over the years. But it wasn't because of anything that was in them content-wise. It was usually because of some stupid copyright flag. Like there was a piece of music playing in the background or something like that. By the way, Seventh, this is the 10th anniversary of your most viewed video. Don't buy this shit, the Xbox One. Yeah, the only video that I made real money off of. Worst restaurant experience. I got food poisoning once. I think it was from an Olive Garden. I can't remember now. Do you think Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was written awful but had potential? Well, yeah, it had some potential. There are elements of those movies that I like. Just the whole didn't live up to the sum of its parts. I've never been to an Arby's. They never advertised any food that remotely caught my attention. Has 8th been to one? Yes, 8th has been to an Arby's. I will say this. When at the previous town I was living in, we had a Burger King up the street. That Burger King was terrible. It wasn't even open half the time. At random, you would go over there and they would just be closed. There wouldn't be anybody there. And, you know, their Whoppers didn't taste like Whoppers. Their ice cream machine broke down more than McDonald's did. Just wasn't very good. And, you know, the Whopper used to be my favorite fast food burger. But then I had Whataburger. Trey Brotherhood versus the Crumb Side. Which was worse? Crumb Side. Crumb Side just was like, you know, give me your address and I make more money than you do. And I'm going to come to your house. It was stupid. It was just stupid. Have you or 8th ever played the Dynasty Warriors games and or Romance of the Three Kingdoms? I've played some of both. I was not a big fan of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. I do like some strategy style games, but not that particular style of them. And as far as Muso type games go, I like those. Any conspiracy that you can side with or think that has a chance to be true? Yes, the Kennedy assassination. I don't believe that Oswald acted alone or was even the shooter that landed the killing blow. And Burger King's fries are all right now. They used to be terrible. Their fries used to taste like potato chips. And I'd buy them and I'd take a bite and I'd be like, why did I even buy these? They taste like Ruffles. Oh, the don't buy this, the Xbox One. Icy Rhythm said, I posted that video on NeoGaf. They were all like, 7th who? Being condescending losers. Yeah, and then a bunch of them came to my video and made it go viral as shit. So, to come and tell me that, you know, I was a nobody. And then my subs and views exploded. And I was on the point. I was right, because of that video, I was right at the cusp of getting big. And then 2 things happened at the same time. Well, actually 3 things. 8-Bit Eric convinced me to switch networks. And so I switched to Screenwave at his behest. I started doing the 7thCast, and the adpocalypse happened all at the same time. And my channel died. And y'all are all that's left. Favorite fast food? It's a tie between Whataburger and Crystal. Most annoying dungeon in Link to the Past. I don't remember finding any of them in Link to the Past particularly annoying. Have you seen Go Go Loser Ranger? Yes. Not all of it. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes of it. Zaire, guess what? I got them both too, son. Oh yeah, amazing intro for me. Only bested by the Division intro with the glitched audio. Actually, that was an accident. I did film audio for that scene when I'm falling, you know, and I'm talking but nothing's coming out. What you're supposed to hear is, "Oh no, not again," which is a reference to Alien. And for whatever reason, when I rendered the video, it deleted that line of dialogue out, and I didn't catch it. And I wasn't going to redo it once the video was already uploaded. So that's what happened with that. Crumb side equals dark cloud. Well, no. Well, kinda, yeah. Kinda. Basically, the Crumb side was like everyone becoming the Yellow Hulk. Pretty much. Camera. What is up with you, camera? Why can't... There you go. Thank you, camera. Stupid autofocus. Burger King itself isn't open often. That's a red flag in and of itself. Comparing it to Whataburgers is clear as hell in heaven, with a Whataburger symbolizing the latter. You're not wrong. Zaire launched a lot of YouTubers' careers. Yeah, gave a whole bunch of noobs somebody to make fun of. I could tell you why YouTube gaming community in this sector went to shit, but it would be considered very controversial. Well, we don't want you being controversial in the chat, Icy. Whataburger is opening up in my area soon. You'll have a very long line for a while anyway. It won't stay long like Chick-fil-A, but when it first opens, first few weeks, there will be a line there. Eric killed it, and all 7th got from the MCN as a chocolate bar. Yeah. Yeah, Screenwave used to send these, like, Christmas packages. And there'd be, like, a crappy little chocolate bar and some stuff in it. And then they dropped me. You know, I did all the stuff that my Screenwave manager told me to do, and it actually made my channel less popular. And then they dropped me. Honestly, I feel bad for anyone that's still on Screenwave, because as best as I can tell, all they care about is AVGN. You know, I actually met the guy that runs Screenwave at a Retropalooza, and he seemed nice enough, but, you know, in the last couple of years, he's going through some kind of a breakdown, and it seems like he might be a little bit uncertain of his gender identity, you know. But he's been off camera for a while now, so I don't know if that's still going on with him or not. But as far as I can tell, you know, they don't care about any of their other channels anymore, if they still even have them. All they care about is AVGN, because he's the only one that makes them money. You could get more views if you started doing YouTube's new vertical... What is vertical streaming?
He's talking about the short form content. The shorts.
Oh, the shorts?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that actually likes the shorts.
Yeah, but they're kind of like bypassing the algorithm. They get really popular.
I don't have any content that lends itself well to a 60-second format.
You would just take clips from your stream, like one-off jokes.
Oh, take one off, just little, where I talk about one subject for 60 seconds and upload it?
Yeah.
That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. I don't know if I'd be willing to do that.
Most of them are like 7 seconds long now.
Great. Plus, I don't really tell that many jokes on my stream. I just answer questions.
Yeah.
7th, do you think It's a Gundam is a real Gundam? No. I don't think that. I do like his channel, though. I always boot up one of your vids just to enjoy the video and listen to the intro music. Still great to listen to. Well, I'm glad you like it. Richard, Eric's okay. I mean, he does get to be... He chases clout probably more than he should, but He's an all right guy. He's all right. I don't know what's going on with Review Tech. I don't know what's going on with him right now. There's some issues going on there. The $12,000 PC Saga videos that Black Bond made on Zaire were always pretty funny. Oh yeah, the Calapes. The Calapes. Yes. Is it true video games were not always meant to be beaten, but nowadays they are? It depends on the game. Some of them were, meant to not be beatable. You just played them until you ran out of lives. Pac-Man, Galaga, etc., etc. There wasn't really a way to beat them other than to manage to play them so long that they had a memory crash and you get a kill screen. Should AVGN have used Rogaine to avoid his current hair loss? I'm not sure it would have helped him looking at how he's losing it. I liked your newscast videos. Oh, the 7th update? Yeah. I intended that to be kind of a riff on Weekend Update on SNL. But nobody watched them. They weren't getting views. Do you think GTA 6 will be the last one? Not if it makes money. No, 7th. You can stream into the Shorts tab, so you get thrown into Shorts, but you're live. It's called short streaming. Okay. I'm not sure what the benefit of that would be. Yeah, but would it limit you to how long you could stream?
No.
I wouldn't even know how to do that. Oh, by the way, what do you think of 8-Bit Eric's wrestling career? Oh, well, I know he can wrestle. I've seen him wrestle. He knows how to do it. Short streams get a lot more random views. Yeah, I don't know how to set that. I wouldn't know how to set that up in OBS to where it would stream to a short stream. Or is that something that I would just end up doing with my phone? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Seventh, contrary to what school professors say, do you believe there are, in fact, stupid questions? There are indeed stupid questions, usually asked by stupid people. I don't know either, but it might be worth looking into if you want to give a bigger audience. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I haven't had a quote-unquote bigger audience since 2016. So, It is what it is. Yes, I remember the beef with JTech TV. I made a fool out of him, and he begged me to leave him alone. No one has time for the poor, forgotten Pyro 2000X. He was a joke then, and he still is. And he still talks like he has a mouthful of marbles. That hasn't changed either. Oh. Bigger audience equals more shelf money. Maybe, but, maybe not. Maybe or maybe not. What happened in 2016? The things I mentioned earlier that you apparently weren't in here to hear. Oh, my neck. Oh. Man, the sun ain't wanting to go down today, is it? You guys can't even tell, but my black lights are on back there. Y'all are getting kind of quiet again. Y'all are getting kind of quiet. And I'm sorry I'm leaning back. I'm still having some tummy troubles. I don't even remember who you're talking about, Ultra Steel. Do you think gaming this generation has risen or fallen compared to last gen? I think it's about on par with the second half of last gen. Do you still talk to BBC? I don't think I've talked to him in about a year. Been about a year. I don't think I could limit myself down to just 3 favorite games, Alien. Oof. Oh. That don't feel good. I need to get me some beard dye. I'm definitely showing too much gray. What do you think of speedrunners? They got to go fast. I mean, I can't really say anything about speed running. I used to try to beat my own times and whatnot. The difference was we didn't have websites for tracking it and all that. We just filmed it on VHS tape. Ultra Steel, you must have a rather detailed memory of all my interactions because I don't remember what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't remember every weirdo that I've ever interacted with. That just kind of gets flushed out of my subconscious after a few weeks, man. What was your opinion of the completionists controversy? Well, I mean, if the money wasn't going where he said he was going, he deserved what he got. I only met him once, and he was nice in person, but that don't mean anything. Damn. Why am I so freaking thirsty? I'm now out of drink. I'm out of tea. I'm out of water. Seventh, why haven't they made a real Mario versus Sonic game? It would sell like crazy. Because the idea of it suggests that there would have to be a winner, and neither Nintendo or Sega are going to put their characters in a position where one would come out on top of the other. Even if it was built to where it could go either way, depending on how you played it, neither of them would concede on the possibility of there being footage uploaded showing Mario kicking Sonic's ass or vice versa. It's just not going to happen. Beating them in Olympic Games, that's one thing. But, actually defeating one. Yes, I did watch Who Killed WCW. You're the second or third person to ask me that tonight. I don't think it was any one particular factor as to what killed WCW. It does seem to me that they didn't have a good idea for what to do once the NWO thing had run its course. And so they just kept trying to reinvent or reinvigorate the NWO. And people just got bored with it. And it was kind of downhill from there. Bear Grylls knows where you can get more to drink. You ever watch Kitchen? No. Did you know that Panzer Paladin is $7.99 on Steam right now? Yeah, but I don't play on Steam. I play on PlayStation. And I would rather have a physical copy of it anyway. E3 is very dead. I miss what E3 used to be, but E3 hasn't been what it used to be in a long time. 7th, I thought AOL Time Warner killed WCW. All they did was help put the final nails in the coffin. WCW was already going downhill of its own accord before that deal was finalized. Just a bunch of bad decision making and horrible booking. Why don't you switch to the PC? Just because I don't want to sit here to play games, and I'm too lazy to hook up a PC to the TV. I'm too set in my ways, man. I like to sit in my recliner with a controller. How long do I think it'll be till the end of the consoles? I think we already got there at least one generation ago, because nowadays consoles are just low-powered PCs anyway. The PS3 was the last time that you've had a console with real unique proprietary hardware, and ever since then it's been out of the box parts, so off the shelf parts, I should say. So we're just playing on low end budget PCs nowadays. That most correct the 7th level has ever been was with the future of gaming being streaming and less physical. The most wrong I ever seen 7th be was when he called the Switch a dumpster fire. I wasn't wrong in that. The only thing that I was wrong was in how successful it would sell. But as to my estimation of what it was going to be, I was pretty on the money. I was, like everyone else, under the assumption that that the Switch was not going to be their next 3DS because Nintendo was telling everybody that it wasn't the continuation of their handheld market and that there would be a successor to the 3DS. And guess what? The successor was the Switch. And I wasn't anticipating, that all these people that played 3DS would go out and buy a Switch. And that's why I didn't foresee how well the thing would sell. We have 3 Switches. We have the original Switch, an OLED Switch, and a Switch Lite. The Switch Lite is mine. The original Switch stays in a closet, and 8th plays the OLED Switch. Mine collects dust because I barely ever play it. 7th and or 8th, favorite Metroid game? Super Metroid. I must sadly admit I currently do not own a copy of Super Metroid, or I would have it installed in the Polymega right now. But I did play it back in the day. 7th, has there ever been a game that made you laugh from glitches? Yeah. Same as 8th, just about anything by Bethesda that I've ever played. Especially Fallout 76.
I love how Starfield didn't even want me to play it.
Yeah.
Got 4 hours in, crashed, corrupted my save, and then every new save after that I was soft locked in the first mission.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear 8th from up there or not. I don't know if my mic is picking him up or not. Seventh, have you seen Labyrinth? And do you have the same feelings towards it that you do with Dark Crystal? Yes, I've seen Labyrinth, and yeah, I kind of feel the same. I felt it was, the puppetry, the Muppets and everything was impressive. But as far as a narrative, I felt it was a boring movie. 7th, any idea why certain games like Sparkster, Street Fighter II, Mortal Kombat 2, and a few other titles released 2 different versions of the same game for the SNES and Genesis? That would be to get around Nintendo's exclusivity deals that, to get their seal of approval and get their game put on their platform, you couldn't release the same game on the other platform. And so, you had Sunset Riders on SNES, but then on Genesis you had Sunset Riders and it had different abilities and different levels. You had Turtles in Time on the SNES. You had Hyperstone Heist on the Genesis. That's how those third-party companies got around Nintendo's restrictions so that they could put out games on both consoles. How many console gens do you think we have left until they say screw it and just make games on phone PC? If they're extending it past this one, I would say that the next gen is probably going to be the last. Unless there's something that happens that, sends the industry spiraling into a different direction. Who's more evil? Well, by definition, Microsoft would be, simply because they have a greater reach and can ultimately cause more damage because of that reach. Samus versus Doomslayer. Probably Doomslayer, Gotta say. It does pick up 8th's voice. It's just muffled some. Okay. Ever thought about going vegan? No. I've never thought about going vegan. 7th, do you think a Sonic film without Jim Carrey would work? I think from a plot point it could work. I just don't think it would make any money without him in it. I do believe that's the main reason people have gone to see them, is because of him. That's what I think. Yeah. Yeah. You know, the last time me and 8th tried to go into a GameStop, it was closed. And it was like, what, 7 in the afternoon, 7 in the evening? And it was closed.
I don't even think it was that late.
You don't think it was that late?
I think it was like 5 at the most.
Like 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
I know the sun was still up, and they were closed. Seventh and 8th, favorite video game villain. Handsome Jack.
I have to think about it.
I think mine would be Handsome Jack. Hey, 8th, any tips on how to defeat Rolana?
I was already typing out an answer.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Have you watched the documentary Planet of the Humans? No. Seventh, do you remember the final boss of Xenoblade Chronicles? The Zanza character gives me Luciferian vibes. I don't really remember, honestly. Favorite anime villain? Probably the God Hand or whatever in Berserk. Or Tetsuo. As far as anime villains. Do you enjoy police body cam videos? Not especially, no. I mean, I grew up with a cop, so I'm not seeing anything new there. Did my question not show up? Are they going to keep making games or start making PCs of their own, or just update the software to an ever-existing hardware? They'll probably go third party like Sega did. And the console market will be replaced by a kind of a set-top box type of thing that'll probably be made by, multiple companies like VCRs. And you just download the apps of the services that you want. So you download and subscribe to the Microsoft app, and you download and subscribe to the Sony app, blah, blah, blah. Microsoft already kind of going in that way with their partnership with the Amazon Stick. Seven, is it true in Christian theology the devil is known to appear in the form of an angel of light? The devil can appear in any form that he wants. The devil was originally Lucifer, who was the most attractive of all the angels. The head of the angelic choir, as they would say. The son of the morning. The highest of all. The light bringer. GameStop versus Microsoft. I don't really think GameStop is evil. They're just kind of inept. Did you guys pick up Beyond Good and Evil 20th anniversary? No. I think everybody's had bad experiences at GameStop. Silent Rob is certainly not unique in that regard. Why is everybody asking me about Silent Rob tonight? Who gives a crap about Silent Rob? Most epic and fun boss fight that you've experienced from any game? I don't know. You know how many boss fights I've done over the years? I don't know that I've ever really thought of boss fights as fun. Just, another thing I have to get around. What was that one game you said that the ending sucked because it basically cut to black and said it had text explaining the ending? I don't remember. There's a lot of games that did that. Are you religious? I'm a person of faith, but I don't talk about it on here. Not when I can avoid it anyway. Except for when Ultra Steel insists on asking me questions about it. No, Sega is not going. I don't think Sega is going to get back into console manufacture. Are you going to see X-Men? Do you mean Deadpool versus Wolverine? Because as far as I know, there's not a new X-Men movie coming anytime soon. Your prediction of stores ending physical media was your best one yet. Do you have more to come? I don't know. Things are kind of hard to gauge now. Yes, I'll be going to see Deadpool 3. Uh-oh. One hour remaining. 1 hour remaining. There has been $31 in donations. We are still $129 away from being able to afford the 2 new shelves. So if y'all want to help out, by all means. Thoughts on The Acolyte? I've not been overly impressed with it so far. What was the first children's cartoon that you watched? I don't know, man. It was probably like a Disney cartoon or one of the Looney Tunes or something. Worst movie and worst game you've ever seen? Worst movie. That's a bit of a loaded question. Because, The Room is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but it's highly entertaining. I'm going to say The English Patient, because it's boring as shit. As far as worst game I've ever seen, probably Irritating Stick on PS1.
I would say The Witch for movie.
The Witch?
Yeah. I don't like
What would you say for game?
I don't know. There are a lot of bad ones. It's hard to pick one.
Oh, I know one. You can go ask Billy about it on his live stream tonight. Sword of Sodan for Sega Genesis. Sword of Sodan. Oh, good God Almighty.
I would say Vegas, but you can at least beat that game.
That's true. That's true. I have the plat on that.
So do I.
Yes. Do you think Christianity is the easiest religion to follow? I don't know because I'm not an expert on the other religions out there. I'm not really an expert in Christianity either really. Cheers on the no vaping. Yeah. Yeah, I quit vaping like 2 weeks ago. You know, years ago, there was a bunch of guys that were like, well, you know, would you quit vaping for $100 donation? Where are they now? Where are they now? Did you watch James O'Keefe's Disney exposure video? Yeah, I saw it. Somebody tweeted it at me. What's a movie that got turned into a game that you enjoyed? A movie that got turned into a game. Batman on NES. Batman on Sega Genesis. That's just two examples. When I was born, I was born in 74, so it probably would have been Space Invaders by then, wouldn't it? Yeah, it was kind of weird that AVGN never actually reviewed Irritating Stick, just the box art. Do you like survival horror games? Not especially. It's more of 8's thing. I'm not sure I understand your question, Ultra Steel. Would you agree that Blasto for PS1 is highly underrated? I think it's a very funny game. I don't think it plays especially well. 7th and 8th most disappointing game sequel. Uncharted 4. Followed closely by ActRaiser 2. Seventh, do you think Napoleon could have stopped Genghis Khan? No. Do you think the guy that plays Homelander deserves an Oscar for his performance? I mean, he's a good actor, but I don't know that I'd go that far. Why was Batman Arkham Asylum so good? Because it was self-contained. You know, it was Metroidvania-ish in structure without going full open world, and so that kept it a little bit more contained and more easily managed. I think they overdid it a bit with Gotham City and Gotham Knight. Do you agree Green Goblin looked like a Power Ranger villain? Yeah, because of that armor. I don't think there was anything wrong with the way they did Kratos, either in the original trilogy or in the new games. Why don't you think Napoleon could have stopped Genghis Khan? Size of standing army, grasp of tactics. I don't believe that Napoleon was the genius that everyone thinks that he was. Evidenced by what happened to him at Waterloo. I think Genghis in his prime would have mopped the floor with Napoleon. What is your favorite Metroidvania game? Symphony of the Night. Was Fat Gamer a troll? No, he was a person with mental issues. Extreme mental issues. This will be my last question for 7th and 8th before I get off. Which game characters do you think were done a major disservice? Poor writing, character development, etc., etc. I think Nathan Drake was ruined in Uncharted 4.
Joel Miller.
Yeah, Joel Miller. He was given the shaft in Last of Us 2. Cole McGrath ditched for a younger, more edgier character with Tood. Are you going to pick up the rumored God of War remake? I don't know, man. This whole generation has been about remakes. I'm kind of over it. I still talk to Super Brothers. I talk to him on Twitter all the time. Who's crazier, El Presidor or Tokes? That one's a hard one to call. What do you think, 8th? Who's crazier, El Presidor or Tokes?
Probably El Presidor.
8th is going to go with El Presidor. That one's a hard one to call, man. They're both kind of... I mean, I still consider Tokes my friend, but, you catch him on a bad day. 7th, have you ever embarrassed Neil Druckmann on social media? I've certainly tried. I think he has me blocked on Twitter now. I think. I haven't talked to Fat Gamer in forever. See you later, Lotto. Or Lodo. Is Fat Gamer still around? He was still posting videos a while back, and then he kind of sort of admitted to committing SA on a woman. Kind of, sort of. And so, yeah, that was pretty much the end of him. I didn't say I did, Blaze. I said I certainly tried. Gamer Nate once threatened to cut a guy's throat before he even showed a knife. Yeah, Gamer Nate was a little bit out there too. I don't know what happened to him either. No, I didn't like Prometheus, and no, I didn't like Covenant. I haven't talked to El Presidor in years. I've tweeted at El Presidor a couple of times over the last few years, but he doesn't respond. I don't think he really gives a crap about that period of his online career anymore. He knows it's over. I don't see a wiki of you online like most YouTubers have wikis. I'm not big enough to have had a wiki written about me. I mean, there used to be a Crumbside wiki that had a small entry about me in it. I don't know if that still exists or not. It was called the Crumbside wiki, and I had a very, very brief little entry in there that didn't really say much about me at all. But as far as Wikipedia, I think there was someone that tried to write one about me, and it got shut down because Wikipedia said that I wasn't notable enough or have a big enough audience to warrant having my own wiki article maintained on their server. What are your thoughts on Elon Musk? He's just another billionaire. Remember when Fat Gamer threatened to beat someone with a bat? Fat Gamer threatened to do a lot of things. That was probably the least of them. From 8th, a good actor doesn't change a boring movie. True. If it was the opposite, then The English Patient would be worth watching. But it's not, because no matter how many great actors are in it, the movie's boring as hell. We got about 40 minutes left, folks. 40 minutes left. I have been doing a little bit of research about, possibly starting up a membership on the YouTube channel, but I'm not going to do that until I'm, to the point where I can make videos again. What's the point of doing a membership when all I'm doing is this? Seventh, have you ever tried any free-to-play games like Warframe? I played Warframe a few times. I didn't like it.
You played a lot of Path of Exiles.
Yeah, I beat Path of Exiles. That's a free-to-play game. Did you like Alien vs. Predator the film? Did you ever read the comics or play the games back in the day? I played the arcade game, or the Super Nintendo one that was a beat 'em up. I did not like either of the movies. I thought they sucked. I did have some of the comics. Will you make videos again? When I have an idea that I think will work well. I still haven't gotten all of my musical gear plugged up and tested yet. There's some other... I want to be able to test streaming the Polymega and capturing game footage off of it, because that's going to be critical to the type of videos that I want to make. I think I'm past the point where anyone's going to care about reviews that I do. Like, trying to bring back DBTS. I don't, the last several ones that I made didn't get much in the way of viewership, so I don't, the only time that you're going to get any decent views off of reviews is if you get your review out like the very day the game comes out or sooner. Otherwise, no one cares. And I don't have the money to be buying every new game that comes out the minute it comes out. And even then, being able, buying it on release day, I still have to play it before I can review it. And by the time that I've played it, no one cares what my opinion is. So the video doesn't get any views. No, I haven't played Mario Wonder yet. We don't have it. I mean, I'd donate more, but Bidenomics PC is like $7,000 to $8,000. I appreciate the $10 you sent, High for Life. I appreciate the $10 you sent. We've got 40 minutes left. If anyone else wants to help get the shelves so I have all the shelf space I'm going to need, you've got 40 minutes to do it. Otherwise, we'll pick that back up next week, and it'll just take longer for that to get done. Do you like... that's for 8th. Would you agree that Alien Isolation would work great as a film adaptation? Probably would, yeah. In fact, looking at the trailer for the new Alien movie, I would say that there's probably been a little bit of inspiration there. A little bit, at least visually. What is the best of day to stream? I wouldn't be the right one to answer that, Blaze, because I'm not popular or successful. The most we ever have in here is 34 people watching it, and at best I get maybe 700 views on it after the fact. So I'm not really the right person to ask that question. This is a niche stream at best. That's why I'm able to answer almost everybody's questions, because there aren't that many people in here. It's not like I make a ton of ad revenue off of these, Half the time they demonetize them. And I don't know why. I go out of my way to not use the F word. I try to not let things get like too sexual a topic or too violent a topic or whatnot. But half the time I'll come on here after I've streamed and they've demonetized it from ads for no particular reason. So it's not like I get ad revenue off of these. That's one of the reasons why it takes forever for me to get my money from YouTube.
What if it's vaping on camera?
I guess that could have been it, but I don't do that anymore, not for the last 2 weeks anyway. I guess that could have been it. Oh, the Fallout 76 video I did with Stranded J. Yeah, that was fun. I wish he'd had his microphone turned up louder so you could hear him better, but it was still fun. But at some point, I'm going to have my Polymega hooked up where we can, or set up where we can stream. I was supposed to test that this weekend, but I didn't get around to it. I didn't like Prometheus or Covenant. I figured I would have rather them continued on with the... actually, I wish they had just pretended that Alien 3 never happened and continued on from Aliens, but that's just me. That's just me. Oh, my neck. dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Prometheus was a terrible movie. Have you thought of making retrospective reviews on old popular games? People like myself enjoy the lore, real-life events, recap of when games come out. Well, the thing that I had been thinking about doing was something kind of sort of similar in vibe to what Tyler does on My Retro Life, only I don't have actual footage of myself aside from like some vacation videotapes. But my idea was to do kind of a oh, wait a minute. Future Gamer has donated $10 through Super Chat. Thank you, Future Gamer. Let's see, For Your Shelves and that Tray for Life series. So damn nostalgic for such a fun era. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. That puts us up to $41 for the night. And that means we're down to $119 left to get the 2 shelves. Thank you. Appreciate you. But anyway, Future Gamer, that was awesome. The idea was to do a series that was basically like when I played so-and-so. In other words, it would be like a kind of a narrative of what happened the day that I first ever played a particular game. So, say for example, Batman NES. It's so the video would be kind of it's spring of 1990. So and so is the president of the United States. This is the big event that's happening in the news today. This is the #1 movie at the box office, and I am so and so years of age, sitting on the floor of my bedroom, and I'm about to pop in Batman on NES for the first time. My window is open, the spring breeze is blowing in, the smell of pine Lysol is everywhere because my mother is doing her spring cleaning, blah, blah, blah. Here's what I thought of the game. Just like the memories and the experiences that revolve around what was going on in my life when I played that particular game for the first time. That's the idea. Don't know if I'll ever get there or not. But that's the idea of where I would want to go with new videos. Y'all let me know if that's something that sounds like something you would actually want to watch. Just got here. Good evening. Thoughts about the Xbox Amazon well, it's not a merger, it's a partnership. And, that's just more headed in the third-party direction they've talked about going. Sony has talked about having the same kind of deal. So, hi, Juggernauts. Do you agree that Jim Johnston belongs in the WWE Hall of Fame? I can't say that I remember who that is. So you like that idea, Zendmust? 7 thoughts on the possibility of a Thing sequel. Well, they already did a prequel, and that didn't turn out all that great. The movie itself was all right. Switching to CGI effects was stupid, though. Ever play a game called Tunic? Yeah, I did. I didn't really get into it that much. Is the Psycho Dad series real or staged? It's staged. It's all scripted by Jesse. Farb. I'd watch if you made those kind of videos. Okay, so 2 people out of the 34 that watch. Oh. Thoughts on the Fly movies? I actually liked the second one. I know a lot of people crap on it, but I like the second one a lot. The one with Eric Stoltz. I like that movie. And the stuff with the dog will just break your heart too. Not trying to spoil it for anybody, but damn. Jim Johnston's the guy that composed most of the entry music. Oh, well, yeah, he definitely needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Angry Grandpa was mostly staged, but some of it was staged around real events, if that makes any sense to you. A lot of what happens in Michael's videos is a work. It's just scripted comedy. Undertaker, 1,000 times Undertaker, alien. Jeez. 7th, have you ever seen The Birds? Saw it the other day and I think it aged well. I don't know, man. Those special effects aren't that special. You know, plot-wise and acting-wise, it's fine. But those effects, man. Jeez. No, no, no. Oh, no, thank you. The joints in my fingers are hurting, lads. Not feeling too good. Not feeling too good. What was your hardest trophy to get before you ended trophy hunting? I think the one that I had the most frustration trying to earn was any of the crushing trophies in the Uncharted games, because some of those scenarios that you had to survive with your health being the way it is on crushing was it was something else. No, Sting is not really a ripoff of Undertaker. Sting was a ripoff of The Crow. And even then, just that version of Sting. Was there a movie or game that made you cry on how sad or beautiful? Well, no. I think I might have shed a tear or two when I was 7 years old and E.T. died, and that's about it. What's the most disappointing film adaptation? The Lawnmower Man. Holy crap. Had absolutely nothing to do with the short story. Nothing. Except for one line of dialogue about finding body parts in the bird bath. Seventh, if you could give a name for your fans, what would you call them? Seventh-oids, Seventh-day Adventists, Seventh-levelists, Seven-uppers? Friends. The sword fight in Uncharted and crushing was brutal. Yes. Wasn't the first iteration of Sting an homage to the Ultimate Warrior? Well, no, because Sting was already wrestling as Sting before Ultimate Warrior became the Ultimate Warrior. Sting was more of an attempt to have, for the WCW to have their own Hulk Hogan equivalent than anything else. Remember the E.T. Game Boy game? That I don't think I ever played E.T. on Game Boy. Played it on 2600 though. Beat it on 2600. What's your favorite heavy metal album? Metal Church, Blessing in Disguise. Why you never take your sunglasses off? Because they're not sunglasses. They are my glasses. I have an eye condition. Here, look. See the distortion? That's because they're not just sunglasses. They are actual thick-lensed glasses. They help me see. I have astigmatism and nearsightedness, and I'm nearsighted in one eye and farsighted in the other, and I have a severe light sensitivity problem because of the astigmatism that I have. So I have to wear these all the time, unless I'm sitting in a very darkly lit room, which I am right now. But I'm so used to wearing these. If I sat for too long here with the light of the monitor shining right in my face, I'd get a migraine after about an hour of it. 8th has the same thing. He inherited it from me. My corrupted Tennessee redneck DNA gave him... it's not the exact same form that I have, but it's caused by the same type of astigmatism that I have. It's just his variation on it is slightly different. Yeah, his is degenerative. He may end up having to have surgery at some point. Someday. Maybe. Mine got to a certain point, and then it never got any worse, but it never got any better either. But we have to keep a close eye with 8th, because his could get worse. I do have a pair of non-tinted glasses, but they're like my backup glasses. Which Mick Foley character is your favorite? Mankind, Cactus Jack, or Dude Love? Cactus Jack. Seventh, you say you've seen ghosts. Do you think you may have seen demons? No, these were ghosts. What was your opinion on the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark movie? I didn't think it was very good. It felt like it was made for Nickelodeon or something. Yeah, the trailer for the new Crow looks kind of crap. I think 8th is still curious about it, but, I have a bad feeling about it. Do you like gun characters when they show up in RPG? Sure. "20 minutes left, folks. 20 minutes. I love the Vita. What's your favorite failed system of all time that you still play from time to time? TurboGrafx 16. TurboGrafx. I heard they're making a sequel to Scarface. Why? Why? Surely it's not with Pacino. He's so old now. What would the point of that be? See Tony Montana getting wheeled around in a wheelchair? He's like rolling down the ramp. Say goodbye to my little friend. I don't see it. I don't see it working out. Just doesn't seem like something that would go over to me. I don't think that's a good idea. I think he's too old. Have you ever walked out of a movie theater because it was terrible? Somebody asked me that last week. I've never walked out of a movie. My parents have walked me out of a movie, or more specifically, my mother walked me out of a movie because she felt that the movie we went to see had too much bad language in it. I wanted to walk out of Ghosts of Mars, but I didn't want it to be a waste of money, so even though I wasn't enjoying the movie, I stayed and finished it. Did you and your dad watch old movies like Tombstone together? Yeah, but it wasn't an old movie back then. It wasn't an old movie back then. You know, old movies back then would have been stuff made by John Wayne, you know? I still don't think of Tombstone as an old movie because I went to see it at the theater when it came out. In 1994, man. I'd only been out of high school a year when Tombstone came out. What are you talking about? What movie was it? It was that Fred Ward movie where he had a motorcycle that went back in time, or the Time Rider or whatever, where he goes back to the Old West. Have you played any of the Trails series games? Yes, I have most of them. Why was the third Lord of the Rings film not as good as the other two? I disagree. I liked the third one way better than the second one. It just had a little bit too much to its ending. That's the only thing that was wrong with Return of the King. What do you think of the new Penguin series on HBO with Colin Farrell? Couldn't give less of a crap about it. I remember an arcade game I used to play at the corner store that had a vehicle that jumped over crevices and shot upwards and forwards. Do you remember the game I'm talking? Moon something. Although there's also a game called Silkworm, I think, that kind of matches that description. But I think the one you're talking about, it's Moon something. I can't. I've got it sitting on my shelf over there, but it's crap. Old arcade game, Moon something. Moon Patrol. I think it's Moon Patrol. Go look up a video of Moon Patrol, see if I'm right.
7th, you missed my question.
I get sick of hearing
7th, you missed my question.
when some of you guys are asking me 20 and 30 questions a night.
7th, you missed my question.
I don't see that I missed any of your questions. Your last question was about whether if I thought that the ghosts I'd seen were demons, and I said no, they were ghosts. I didn't miss your question. You just aren't paying attention. Who gives a crap what Rotten Tomatoes thinks? You've already been silenced once tonight, Shadowhood. Don't make it two. House of the Dragon. Don't care. What is Vikings about? You said earlier you liked it. It's about Vikings. It's in the title. Seventh, do you think those ghost hunting shows on History Channel are staged nonsense? Yes. Except for maybe old school ghost hunters. Because, you know, if you watched old school ghost hunters, there were several episodes where they would say, "No, you just got a creepy creaky pipe up here and we fixed it." You know, if they didn't think if they didn't find a legitimate paranormal reason for what was going on, they didn't try to fake it like, you know, Ghost Adventures does. Is there a film reviewer you trust? I used to trust Stuckman, but now I don't know.
I like Skill Up.
Well, yeah, I like Skill Up insofar as game reviews, but not as a film reviewer.
Oh. I heard reviewer. I didn't hear film reviewer.
Ever watch that show, A Haunting? No. Do Dumars and Solid Rev get along still? I don't think so. I think Rev said that they stopped talking a few years ago. I still hear from Dumars every now and again. He posted comments on a couple of the episodes to Tray for Life. I got a video game riddle you might like. What video game term can be called autumn pain? Fall damage. Do you like Jeremy Johns? He's okay. He's okay. He's got kind of one of those faces you'd like to punch. I can't really put it into words. There's just something irritating and dislikable about his face. I can't really put it into words. Oh, we got 12 minutes to go, folks. 12 minutes left. We are at $41 in donations. 119 left to go. I used to like movie reviewers like Angry Joe, but I don't know. The guy seems shady and he seems like a corporate shill. Well, I'm not going to say who, but I've been told that he is like a supreme a-hole at conventions too. Questions are drying up, folks. Questions are drying up. It's like y'all run out of ideas in the last 10 minutes of the show. Maybe I made a mistake starting half an hour early. No, I never finished up Sea of Stars. Maybe I'll get back to it at some point. Maybe I won't. Never can tell. What happened to General MLD? He gave up on YouTube and now he just trolls strictly on Twitter. Angry Joe at the cons, I am told, has the kind of I'm a diva, I'm a star attitude. and expects to get better treatment than any of the other guests that are there. Seventh, was the '80s show Battlestar Galactica any good? Technically, it was a '70s show, not an '80s show, Ultra Steel. Although they did try to continue it with a show called Galactica 80 that only lasted one season because it took place in modern times on Earth to try to save some money. Didn't have any of the original stars in it except maybe one or two, and was mostly about these super-powered kids that they were shepherding around on Earth called the Super Scouts. And it was just dumb as crap, and it bombed. I have all of Battlestar Galactica on Blu-ray back there. The original one, not the one from the early 2000s. What's your favorite comedy TV show? Red Dwarf. Red Dwarf, The Office, the IT Crowd. Any? What We Do in Shadows. Thoughts on Review Tech USA and Lolcow? Don't really care. It feels like a work to me. Just feels like they're all making it up as they go along. Yes, I remember Rated D. He's still around, he just doesn't make videos. Who's your favorite comedian? George Carlin. Rated D actually provided some of the videos for the Tray for Life series. He provided me with some of the footage. He had some of it archived, and so he sent some of it my way. What's your favorite reboot of a series? Can't really think of a reboot of a series that I've liked, per se. 7th and 8th, thoughts on Stellar Blade? I haven't played it. 8th has. Do you think young folks nowadays get easily offended and take things too personal? Yes. Rated D doesn't like Hard 8. No, he does not. No, he does not. 7 minutes left, folks. 7 minutes left. Get your questions in. I took your question to be a reboot of a TV series because everyone was asking me about TV series at the time. Is it true that Hard 8 is a hardcore race? I have no idea. Seventh, when do you need the money for your shelves by? Well, there's not like a deadline. It's just I'm not going to do... There's several things that I want to get done before I do a new game tour. And one of them is having those shelves up. There's some other things that I want to get done too, but that's one of the main things. I have another video game trope that I like, and that's when you beat a boss and then a regular, smaller version of that boss shows up. I don't know that I like it. I don't think I have any feelings about that trope one way or the other. Really. Seventh, how did you first meet Fat Gamer? I did a response video to one of him and Super Brothers' Best of Both Worlds videos. And honestly, clean frame. I don't pay that much attention to video game tropes. I don't even know who Baghdad is, Shadow Deist. I just know Fallout. Hard 8 had a falling out with. He's had a falling out at one point or another with just about everybody. He don't get along. Seventh, what are your favorite things about a trophy system? Well, they keep you invested in the game after you've beat it, for one thing. Two, they're just kind of a modern equivalent on the high score from arcades. And so, yes, I think Nintendo Switch would benefit from it. It's one of the reasons why I don't get into Switch as much, because I like the idea of earning and unlocking things that everything else has. Steam has it, Sony has it, Microsoft has it. Nintendo's the only one that doesn't have it. And so, I just don't play Nintendo near as much as I play the other stuff. Four minutes left, folks. 4 minutes left. Seventh, I meant Hard 8 had a falling out with Broken Games. Well, yeah, he hasn't been on Weapon Wheel in forever, has he? I guess Ultra Steel. Do you like the Super Mario Brothers movie? Which one? I like the original one from a so bad it's funny aspect. And I mean, the CGI one was, it was okay. Don't forget to check Vertical Streams. I'll look into it. Would Nintendo trophies be stars and green mush? I have no idea. Brother Natural 8th switched over to AMD. 2-minute warning, folks. 2-minute warning. I don't think anybody's going to swoop in and try to donate to keep me on here. That don't happen no more. You remember when that used to happen, where I'd be just about ready to quit the stream, and then somebody would swoop in and like dump a big donation in, and they were like, "Ha ha! Now you got to stay longer." Ha 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 ha! No one cares now. No one cares. It's like 3 hours is all y'all need from me now, and I get it. I get it. I understand it. I ain't saying it's a bad thing. Will you stream next week? As long as nothing disastrous happens, sure. As long as nothing disastrous happens. Rich Richard. Everyone thinks Richard is rich now. That's funny. And y'all used to donate $20 for me to tell a dad story. But I've told so many dad stories, I don't remember which ones I've told and which ones I haven't. Oh, my neck, man. My neck just popped. How much for another hour? I don't know. Eighth, how much do you think I should ask to stay for another hour?
You used to ask 50 for that, didn't you?
Yeah, it was like 50 and then 75 and then 100. So I guess if two people donated $30 for 60, which would put it up to an even 100, I'd stay for another hour. I don't think it's going to happen though. I'm never getting remarried. Never! That's not happening. I'm too old, I'm too fat, and I'm too set in my ways. I like my life the way it is. Unencumbered. Well, fine, 50 then. If someone dumped 50 in here and made it an even 90, I'd stay another hour. But it would have to happen like right now because it's literally quitting time. And I don't see a $50 donation popping in here. So no worries. We can pick this up again next week. I would never do a 24-hour stream because it would literally kill me. No one would donate $5,000 for me to stream for 24 hours. Nobody would do that. I don't have anyone that has that much money that watches me. Because she was insane, that's why. Yes, generally the court system is against men. I didn't have to go to court for mine. Mine was uncontested. As was 100% custody of the lad up there. It was not contested or even disputed in court. I sent papers. Papers were signed. Done. Anyway, it's 9:02. There is not a $50 donation coming. This is where we're going to say goodbye. I appreciate everyone who did donate. I hope you guys had a good time and enjoyed watching the show. I will be back here next week